Welcome to another episode of the Traffic Cardinal podcast. My name is Margarita, and today I'm talking to James Oliver, a prominent SEO specialist. Let's start with the very beginning. Tell me about your 2026. Is it treating you well so far? Have you contrived any plans for the upcoming months, for example?
So all travel plans, but generally work of getting everything organised and planning for the next 3 months ahead. But I'm currently based in Bali, and then in February I'll be going back to Dubai, doing Affiliate World, and then flying to Marbella. I forgot where it is now for the test conference, and then stop at Lithuania and then back to Bali. So quite a bit of travelling, meeting people, and a lot of work basically.
A lot of things to do. And let's go to business then. On your LinkedIn page, you mentioned that you often speak at conferences, which is definitely true. How did you get into that? What made you want to step into media space? Does it help you in your work?
Yeah, it helps massively. Well, originally, so I've always done SEO and affiliate marketing, but I've always done it by myself and just bootstrapped and just stayed in the shadows for 4 or 5 years. And then I decided to go to conferences. From going to conferences, I've met 3 business partners through them. And I've been to Affiliate World, which is where I met you guys. Been to there for 3 years in a row. I think this maybe is the 4th year or 3rd year. I can't remember now. And then kind of just progressed to that and then realized I kind of wanted to speak and give that a go. And it's turned out all right. Yeah, it's turned out well. I enjoy it.
Okay, good. And all these conference trips can make you feel a bit nomadic. Now you're in Bali, then you go to Dubai, then Lithuania, as you have mentioned. And that's a long way from home. You're practically everywhere and nowhere at once. So how do you manage to actually live a life, productive life perhaps, while being always on the move? Do you enjoy that lifestyle, or would you like to change it somehow?
To be honest with you, I'm used to it. I've done it for like over 10 years now, living away from the UK and traveling around like Australia, New Zealand, all over in Asia, and then now Bali. And I'm a resident of Dubai, so I actually have to keep going back to Dubai all the time. I do like it, but it is very hard for productivity. You've basically just got to focus, say, this is the time I'm going to work now, and then enjoy your time later. So always be in the moment of fully focused on what you're trying to do, even if it's time off or if it's working. You got to kind of separate it. But the biggest thing for me is always working from a laptop, and you notice the difference having a screen and actually having a proper setup, and it does help massively, especially now with AI. If you got loads of Claude and AI windows, ChatGPT windows open, makes it 10 times easier. So it does affect it, but it's always a trade-off with everything.
Yeah, I understand. But don't you feel burned out? For example, you're in New York, then in Milan, then in Manila, in Bali, everywhere else at once. Does it ever happen to you that you've been preparing to, I don't know, to some trip, say to Milan again, but then you realize you are not really eager to go anywhere?
I do this, and it does affect burnout, especially conferences, because you end up drinking a lot. And then afterwards, you have to follow up and do everything. So it is a lot of work, to be honest with you. There's a lot of new work as well and connections, which is great. But the burnout does happen. I generally try and block away certain months, like summer months. I don't really travel at all. I just try and stay locked in and focused. And then more of the start and the end of the year is more traveling around. So that's kind of how I deal with it. But burnout does definitely happen. I like to do a reset as well, of just book a hotel in a random place and just have like a mini holiday for 1 or 2 days and actually write and journal rather than being on the computer. And that generally helps to reset and get back into things.
Wow, that's interesting. You should write a book about recharging.
Yeah, I would like to, but I don't know. I find it so hard to do that sort of stuff now. But I might give it a go in the future.
Well, lots of people write books. Why not you?
That's true. I wrote like a couple of little ones more on the affiliate side of AI stuff, but not in like a properly published kind of book, more of a lead magnet and a story of what I've done sort of thing.
I see. But, it's kind of interesting for me to see how affiliates can recharge, because everybody writes about business and business and business, and practically no one has enlightened on the subject of how to rejuvenate, so to speak.
Yeah, that's true. Well, in Bali, there's a lot of that happening with it. Everyone's on the spiritual side, and there's sauna and ice baths and yoga and everything like that here. So you're kind of surrounded by it here. And that's kind of what makes it hard to work as well, because you have the tropical lifestyle vibe as well as trying to work at the same time, which makes it doubly difficult.
Yeah, I heard about that, the spiritual side of Bali. What was the saying? Like, the island has accepted you or something along those lines. I heard that. I'm not sure whether you have the same saying over there.
Yeah, so it goes along those lines. Basically, if you get ill, which a lot of people can get ill here, it's if the island's accepted you or not, and they're trying to send you home.
Somehow people don't say the same thing about Sicily, for example. I don't know why. Okay. How long did it take for you to feel established in the affiliate niche? Do you see yourself staying there for a longer while, or are you planning to shift into some bigger businesses, for example?
So I've always done affiliate SEO, and now because of the recent Google updates and AI, and everyone's focused on that, and Google taking away the clicks, it is a lot harder in the search space, inbound traffic space for affiliate marketing. So we've taken a massive hit from that. But in the past few years, I've moved across to software businesses as well, mainly in the SEO space. So I built Parasite SEO.com, and I'm the co-founder in that. AnswerSocrates.com, which is a keyword research tool. We acquired that, and I recently built SEOTalus.com, which is another Google Search Console SEO tool. So I've transitioned more and kind of spread out the risk load into software businesses as well as affiliate at the same time. I enjoy the business model, to be honest with you. I don't like dealing with people, staff, and inventory and all that kind of stuff. So affiliate for me has always been the go-to. Whether I transition more to the ad side of things is another story. But for now, I can still see myself doing it.
Great. And who or what inspires you to go for big goals? Someone or something from your younger years, for example, or fellow colleagues, or maybe some past challenges?
It's quite hard because I don't know really what the inspiration would come from. I've always done, it's probably more ADHD, to be honest with you, than anything, of starting too many shiny little things and just getting interested and hooked onto it. A different pattern, which it's been good and a downfall at the same time, because I always start multiple projects and multiple different things rather than keep on developing one, but it's worked out quite well. So I've kind of always been in that mentality and done it. And then, to be honest with you, it's probably going to sound a bit weird, but what really inspires me is just getting the cash flow, getting the money.
Oh.
And that just keeps me going down the path of doing it. Not really a person, it's more it's more money-based and value-based, which...
It's a materialistic mindset.
Yeah, it is, to be honest with you.
But you already have spirituality in Bali. What else would you need? Money and spirituality. Perfect.
Exactly. That you come here with your money to acquire the spirituality side of things. No, not really, but that is kind of the goal, which a lot of people don't say that, but it is for most people out there.
I see. From what I know, you're an expert in a technique called Parasite SEO. Correct me if I'm wrong. So why did you choose this particular method? Is it more beneficial than others? Is there some professional interest involved, perhaps?
So I've always done it in the past. People call it different things as well with Parasite SEO, like Barnacle SEO and loads of other little things, but it's basically the same thing, which is borrowing the authority of a website that's already established and using that to rank your content. So say getting a post on LinkedIn or Medium, and Medium will rank that content in Google. It gets the traffic and sends it to the author. So it's basically a fast version of SEO. Rather than having to build your own website, you use their website to host the content and go that way. So I've done it always in the past, but it's kind of becoming more and more popular, especially with AI, because the more basically websites which are saying X about your business, that's going to appear in the LLM search engines when they're scraping it. So that's going to affect the results as well. So it's getting a lot more popular because of that. People want it because of AI. But I've always done it on the affiliate side of things for ranking content and getting traffic that way.
I see. And how do you usually speed up getting parasitic pages to rank? I'm not asking you to impart any secrets, of course, obviously, but could you outline the process and explain how it is different from what other webmasters do?
Sure. So the best way is to actually, it depends on your niche. So if you're in like the adult niche, casino niche, it happens a lot with the black hat and grey hat niches because there's so much money involved in those niches. But it's basically reverse engineering what's working. So you want to see in the SERPs what kind of websites work well in different niches. For example, like the adult niche, a lot of people are using Linktree as a parasite and actually using that to rank for people's names and using that to send traffic, which is a pretty wild example. But there's certain like sites which do better in different niches. There's always like the main ones like LinkedIn, Medium, Vocal Media is good, and there's a new Reddit is ranking for pretty much everything, which is like the big one which everyone uses all the time. So it always changes. So you just want to reverse engineer, see what's working, do the staples, and just keep testing basically, and do it that way.
Well, so you have to be inventive.
Yeah, a lot of it is inventive, but a lot of the time as well, you don't have to reinvent the wheel. You can see what's working, do that, and then find the very creative ways of ranking and using these sites. Like more of a black hat way, which I never really talk about, is the people use like PDFs and rank PDFs, and then they get those onto government websites and rank a PDF of the content because it's got such high authority. You can do it that way. I don't teach or don't do that method, but that's definitely more of a black hat kind of a way what people use. They're very creative.
Mm-hmm. And let's speak about Google a little bit. I heard from various people at a conference, at different conferences actually, that Google has been tightening the screws over the last few years so much that now it's almost impossible to work with Parasite SEO. Is that true?
Not really. They like to publish that and like to say it. So they came out with so basically I transitioned a lot more to the Parasite rather than my own sites because of the helpful content update and what Google's doing with basically taking all the traffic and hurting the affiliate niche. So I transitioned more to this method just because it's working better. And it was a site reputation management abuse algorithm update, which they came out. But to be honest with you, they can't algorithmically target that because they can't go to Medium and say, oh, people are using this website for affiliate content, and then they're going to ban the whole website. And same with news websites. So it's usually bigger news websites. They recently hit Forbes, if you might have heard about Forbes getting targeted and losing a lot of traffic. But that's only when people are basically posting about it on social media, and then Google representatives find out about it, and then they hit the site. So it's generally manually done and not algorithmically done. So there's always ways around it. And recently, the European Union's actually sticking up for Parasite SEO. Google's recently done a post about it, saying they want to try and target these newspaper websites selling content on their website, which people are using for affiliate content. And the European Union saying they can do whatever they want with their website. You can't penalize them because of that. So that's quite an interesting thing. In the US, it does happen, but European sites and newspaper websites are getting stuck up for from the government to Google, which is strange.
Wow, so it's pretty different with the US and Europe as well, right?
Yeah, because it's still big. A lot of people think of like these big newspaper websites are just mainly like US websites, but there's so many newspaper sites in like Germany or France, which you can actually leverage to rank your content in these different geos, which is a lot easier than the US as well, generally, especially with big authoritative news sites. And it doesn't cost as much as well. So if you are like an e-com brand or SaaS brand, you kind of want to get your website out there in different geos, it's a lot better in Europe than the US generally.
Obviously, everything is better than in the US. Okay, I also heard that Google is actively fighting the abuse of website authority. Is there a way to avoid penalties and steer clear of trouble with frequent updates and strict rules?
So with this, it's kind of, authority still matters, and it's fine like a normal site which is built naturally and got links and acquired and stuff. But I'm guessing what you mean is kind of more sites which are trying to build the authority up. They go too heavy on backlinks and like PBNs and those sort of things, and then eventually that catches up with them. And it works the other way as well, with people just wanting to publish as many articles as possible, but then not having the authority to be a big website. So then nothing ends up ranking because of that. So it's kind of a cross between. Link velocity kind of matters. So what you kind of want to do is see the other niche websites of where you want to be, see how many links have got in total, how many links are acquiring each month, and kind of make it an average of each, and then set that as the has the goal of links to get each month, basically, and that's helped you build up over time. Say you maybe need 60 links a month, and just keep doing that, and that's the best way to kind of build the authority on a safe side.
And can you tell me if there are any changes in Parasite SEO in 2025, and if there are trends, incipient trends in 2026?
So generally, the normal user-generated content sites are always good because they're free and they're great for testing. The paid websites, it changes a lot. Same with the free websites. Currently now, dig.com, which is like a Reddit kind of alternative website, all of a sudden Google started liking that website. So everyone's jumping on the trend of getting content on that website to rank in Google. And this kind of happens every few months of like one website kicking off, Google likes it, and everyone abuses it basically, and then it gets hit and changes. So it does change a lot, but the staples kind of stay the same a lot of the time. It's just kind of researching and seeing what's out there and still sticking to the main ones, and then if that changes, then change to a different one. And the paid websites is generally research. So you can use our tool, parasiteseo.com, and reverse engineer and see which sites are working, or you can just do it manually yourself in Google and check what news sites are ranking, and then reach out to them directly to ask for sponsored content, basically. What you find is a lot of like Southeast Asian and South African, Indian and South African news websites rank really well in different geos. So like they will rank really well in the US randomly, and they're very, very cheap. And they're very good for like paid newspaper content to rank in the SERPs in Google.
I see. And now I have a long question, a really long one. You probably remember it. With the emergence of AI-generated answers right in Google SERPs, Parasite SEO that hijacks clicks may lose its point. My question is, where do you think the focus is shifting? To content for direct AI answers to get into its SERPs, to social media and messengers, or to closed expert platforms where AI won't get in?
That's a tough one. So I don't think there's too many closed platforms which AI won't get in. I don't think that would be a factor of what I kind of look at. With the whole search and where everything is going, I see ChatGPT ChatGPT like the market share like Google is of when you think about searching in obviously not in the Russian because it's Yandex, but like US, UK, so it's Google, and no one says Bing or anything like that because it's such a small percentage. And it's very similar with ChatGPT, so everyone kind of focuses on that instead. With ranking on that, like the same thing is get as much content kind of out there in different websites saying the same thing, and then checking what websites are appearing for your search results and trying to get your name and brand on those websites. So like what we do a lot is like listicle exchanges. So if someone's talking about, I don't know, the best toaster, we want to try and get as many placements on that. You don't even have to be first, as long as you're mentioning as many articles as possible. It helps you get in the LLM search engines of pretty much every single one, and that's massive. So that's been huge, and Reddit's been massive as well because Reddit's got its own internal traffic plus Google plus LLMs. It gets picked up by everything. So that's kind of the 80-20 principle of focusing right now is Reddit for us. But it does change, and it's the same sort of principles, to be honest with you, what we've kind of been doing all along.
Okay. By the way, speaking about AI, I've recently heard that the AI bubble is about to burst. What do you think of that?
No, I think it's growing. It's just going to keep going. As soon as ChatGPT brings ads out, everyone's going to be focused on ads, and that's going to be a massive market. And everyone's going to be more focused and wanting to rank in that and get ads up. It's weird with the AI bubble. So like in the SEO ranking Google space, we always thought like local SEO would be fine. It's kind of affected all the informational queries because AI can answer it in the overview box and quite a few affiliate queries. But now with local, they're doing AI like summaries and AI information on that as well. So I think it is going to eat into pretty much every search aspect on Google, and then everyone's going to transition more to the LLM search engines as well. So I do think the AI bubble's nowhere near done. It's going to transition into that.
But people don't seem to like AI. From my experience, of course, I cannot say whether everyone likes or dislikes AI.
Yeah, that's true. To be honest with you, if you know what you're doing, you can manipulate the answers quite a bit. but it's a lot of people hate it, but as the years go on, it's just going to be normal for everyone to use, basically. I generally use AI a lot more for searches than Google now. I use Perplexity for searches because it pulls everything in. It just makes it easier. But yeah, most people do hate it, but it's going to be the new. Everyone's going to use it all the time in a few years.
Well, who knows? Okay.
Well, yeah, it depends what niche and what you use it for, to be honest with you. Like I know for a lot of people who's like traveling around, they don't really Google or use AI. They go on TikTok and check the reels and what people are doing in the area. So it does depend what it is. But from what we're seeing in the search space from everyone I've spoken to, everything's down and everyone's kind of trying go into that. The older generation, obviously, they still don't use AI. They use Bing and stuff like that. So they're easy to target. But as the age goes on, it's gonna go more to that.
Yeah, that's an interesting pattern. From what I know, my friend, she's a Zoomer, obviously, and she uses TikTok for everything, like where to go, what to do, and sometimes Reels on Instagram as well. And I'm like, well, I need Google. I went to Napoli this December, from what I remember. Yes, this December. And I was like, I need to Google, you know. And that was probably a very old school kind of thinking.
Yeah, it is for a lot of things, to be honest with you. And I don't, even though I'm an SEO and try and rank everything in Google, because of that, I don't really use it as much as what I should do. I do go to AI or go to social media for the traveling sort of stuff anyway. But for general queries, it's just basically checking more of the work side of things for results.
But people lie on social media.
That's true, but it's the same with the search results. So if you're trying to rank for, I don't know, we'll just stick with best toaster, people are just generally pick the top product as the one which is going to earn them the most money. That's generally the consensus with most things anyway.
That's true. But on TikTok, they often promote tourist traps, especially in Italy for some reason, and also in France and Paris. It doesn't happen with Google.
Yeah, it depends on the site, but yeah, that's true. You do find good stuff, so it works.
Okay, we can speak about management finally. When you transitioned from being an ordinary worker, if I can say it this way, to a manager or even an owner, what was the most difficult part of changing your mindset? How did you learn to trust and delegate without losing quality?
I have always struggled with this. I still don't. I still find it hard. So for me, and I always suggest this, the best way is to start with hiring a VA. So generally, someone from the Philippines, someone from around there, because they've got really good English, and it's a lot cost effective to hire someone from the Philippines, and then you can kind of test and go and scale up from there. That's the easiest way, in my opinion. Plus, you can outsource just the smaller tasks and kind of learn delegation that way and work your way up to more management side of things. But for me, I've never really got a full process down. I have a few staff members, and a lot of what I do is generally the VAs and then skilled members for specific tasks. And then I hire a lot of freelancers as well, rather than hiring someone fully in the business. I hire freelancers on a project basis just because that makes it a lot easier to manage rather than having to do the time for a full month's of work.
Okay, I see. When building a team, especially in such a dynamic and often turbulent industry as affiliate marketing, what's more important to you? Creating a family culture with high loyalty or a system of clear KPIs and cold efficiency? How do you balance it?
I'm probably more in the culture aspect of things. But there is KPIs of stuff what wants being done as well. So it is hard, but it's not as cutthroat as, say, like sales, where if they don't reach it, then they're gone and then you hire someone else. Because a lot of it is you kind of have to know, you have to train the skills in the person. So you want that person around. They're an asset to the business. So it's generally the first option of trying to promote the culture. And I like to keep it small, especially with AI, because AI takes a lot of the jobs, especially like content side of things. Like I used to hire I used to have so many writers, and I used to outsource to agencies of writers. But now we don't do that at all. It's all Claude code, and we have our own manual AI processes within that, and then I just have an editor who goes through and edits the content. So the structure's changed quite a bit for me in business, but it's still a small team, and then more of a culture and hire people on a project basis if I need it.
I see. Sometimes I see that experts in the affiliate marketing niche build companies for two reasons. One being some want a cash cow to generate passive income, obviously, and others aim to build an independent business to sell later. What are your goals in this perspective? What do you expect from your projects?
I've always been cash flow and passive income. So I've always liked that and not having to be at the computer. And it's even more that case with SEO because it's inbound traffic. So you don't have to keep pouring money in to get the output out. So I've always been cash flow. I've sold a few businesses, and I kind of wish I did that earlier because it's nice getting that income in. So my mindset has changed a little bit now, but it's always been cash flow, and it's currently cash flow at the moment. But you should still always build something to sell. So you should always have the processes, and it should work without you. You should be able to outsource your job out to be a successful business. So it is, you kind of still want to build stuff to sell, but I've always done it to cash flow to hold on to it.
Okay, so it's kind of both cash flow and then to sell later, right?
Yeah, it makes it more of an effective business, and it doesn't take too much longer to build out the SOPs and build out the structure of how it works. And you kind of want that dialed down anyway in the business, so you know what's running. You know it's not luck. You know you're doing this, you're creating these articles or optimizing these articles each month, and that creates the output. So you kind of want to have the structure and the processes in place just to be more stable as a cash flow business.
But you have to engineer it from scratch all the time.
Well, with mine, because it's actually only building your own websites, with that, it has the authority. So over time, it just gets better and better. But with the Parasite side, it is the constant content, but it's generally faster, but it's easier to kind of rank. So it's kind of a trade-off between these two businesses. But generally with Parasite, I'm doing these pages for very lucrative niches like adult and like casino sort of stuff. So you only need to rank in Google for a few days, and then you get recurring commissions on a lot of these things. So it kind of pays for itself. So yeah, it is kind of starting over again sometimes with that aspect, but it still works out well, and it's worth the time to do it.
Okay, thank you. You're a speaker and a public figure. And is it your personal branding strategy of sorts or your inner urge to be a leader? Does publicity have any impact on your authority within the team?
That's a tough one, to be honest with you. So it does massively help with the personal branding stuff. And I've never been a person which enjoys posting on social media and doing that and having to keep up with it daily. I've always liked the evergreen aspect. So like more YouTube and more blogs. That's why I've kind of done SEO, because it grows over time rather than having to keep doing it all the time. But speaking kind of fell into it, and it's worked out well, and it helps massively for speaking to the right people, for networks, and getting leads for the business and stuff like that as well. So it definitely helps the personal brand.
Do you or your team have a specialist in prompt engineering, someone who doesn't just know how to write prompts, but understands how to work with vulnerabilities in search engine algorithms?
That's probably me, to be honest with you. So I've got a few tech. There's a lot of tech people here and people who build software and SaaS tools. So I speak to a lot of people about that. And my business partner used to have an AI writer, so we've learned about prompting, and I do a lot of prompting and have my own Claude Code AI writer and all that information. So I've been the one on that kind of front just because I enjoy it and kind of want to stay ahead to see what's coming. So it's generally me, and then speaking to other people and sharing the process to try and perfect and improve.
So you're instrumental in prompt engineering.
Yeah, at the moment, because it needs to be right at the start, and then you can hand it off to a VA, which they can just run and just go through, and then the editor edits. So for me, it's always been the start of the process is kind of instrumental. But then once that's done, it's kind of done for that job because it's built, and then it runs forever or for a long time. But yeah, it's always been me for that side.
It's a question that was not listed, but I'm interested anyway. As you say, you're so interested in AI tools. Is it different? No, that's not the right way to start it. Are the entries, I mean the prompt entries, different for each AI tool? Say for ChatGPT, Midjourney, whatever else is there on the market?
Yeah, there's so many. Even the AI, the Chinese AI ones, which are quite interesting as well. But generally, it's always the same. But you do get different output for a lot of the different models. So, like Claude, we use Claude for a lot of the writing, just because it produces better content. ChatGPT, like Nano, is the cheaper option for going through and just reasoning. It's very, very cheap, and we've used that for most stuff. So each one kind of has its different aspects and different things, but it's generally the same each time. It's better just to kind of learn the process and then pick one and then keep using that.
And then you just refine it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Just see what the output is of that, and just keep going and keep editing and make it better for whatever you're trying to do. The beauty of it is you don't really have to purchase AI tools or software tools and do that. You can build it yourself and have it customized to kind of what you want to do with your output. So, for example, if we're writing content in the casino niche, we can program the prompts and the AI just to be trained on that sort of industry. So the output's a lot better than what it would be as a standard process.
From my experience, I tried to use ChatGPT several times. I don't remember why, but I just wanted to use it just to see how it works. I realized that I had to narrow down the query. So when you ask a question, for example, it gives you the full picture, like in general, and then you have to explain what you actually need. So the machine can actually narrow down and process what you're trying to say.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you have to hold its hand and have the training data, like the RAG models, and then sequential prompting. So it will do one aspect and then it'll move on to the next, and then that's the next prompt. It do that, and then at the end you get nice output. So it's not good by itself for just saying it to do something. It's generally crap. You have to have multiple prompts and multiple ways just to refine it and keep getting it better.
But probably there are some stages. I would call it stages. So you have to understand the process yourself. So you have to have some structure in your brain how to actually get the desired result.
Yeah, exactly. So you do kind of want to know the process, because you have to know that to put it in the prompt and to refine it. That's why a lot of designers are 10 times better for the AI prompting when it comes to artwork, because they know about the lighting, they'll know about the different camera angles, the lighting setup, the overhead, in front, the different lenses and all that sort of stuff. And that produces a 10 times better image in Nano, like Banana, if you're using Google, than what I would ever do, even though they don't know how to use AI or do the prompts. As long as they know the process and the work involved, they can generally get a better output because of that.
I see. The last but not the least question on my list: how do you think in the long term, say 3-5 years from now, will AI democratize, oh my God, I hate this word, democratize complex methods like Parasite SEO, making them accessible to everyone? Or, on the contrary, centralize and destroy them because defense algorithms, will learn and adapt much faster than any experts?
At the moment, like, AI is smart, but it's not anywhere near where it needs to be for taking over. Basically help with filtering. So we use it in the tool we pull all the websites and pull all the content, all the pages, and check what the relevancy is. It's like, I don't know, India Times is really good in the data niche if they have content ranking and what kind of aspects of topical authority. So we use AI to filter and process a lot of information, which helps with like intent matched websites, because that generally helps with the parasite side of things. So AI is still a tool to help. I don't think it's very good for the process from A to B to do stuff. Like I was saying before, you need the stages, the sequential prompting to kind of get it where it needs to be at the moment. In the future, maybe, but I still think we've got plenty of years before you can just say, write me an article and post it on Medium and do it so it ranks. It's not anywhere near that process at the moment.
Thank you. That is all. Thank you so much. That was suddenly quick. I didn't expect that. I was worried, to be honest. Thank you so much. And that is it, my fellow affiliates. Hope to see you again here and on other social media platforms.